Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Real Loan Experts Show, where we discuss everything about real estate and loans. My name is Ray Warda, founder and broker of Loan Experts, NMLS license number 1726160. We're a California mortgage brokerage, NMLS license number 1733758. And in today's segment on Real Loan Experts, we'll be discussing something a little different than our normal real estate and financing information. Instead, we're going to be talking about entrepreneurship and the mindset of entrepreneurs. This subject is really dear to me as I'm a serial entrepreneur. I consider myself that, and I've been pretty much an entrepreneur almost all my life. And today I have a special guest who's a repeat special guest of mine joining me that will help me with the subject matter. And her name is the fabulous Aurora Betancourt, who is an exceptional realtor in the Bay Area in Northern California. Welcome, Aurora.
Thank you, Ray, for having me. My name is Aurora Betancourt with Marker Real Estate, and I belong to the San Francisco Association of Realtors, and I'm based out of the San Francisco Bay Area.
Awesome. You're in a pretty hot market over there, aren't you?
It's very busy. It was a little slow, in April and March with the shelter in place, but it's picked up.
Awesome. And is there a specific area in the Bay Area that you cover, or is it just general?
General, Contra Costa, Alameda, and Solano County.
Okay, great to know. Great to know. And, this subject that we're going to be discussing today about entrepreneurship, really, the reason why it relates to real estate and finance and our industry is because, pretty much we're all self-employed people. I mean, whether we look at ourselves that way, and that's the thing. I have a lot of realtor friends and other realtor acquaintances and other people that are in the finance industry that don't think about their business as an entrepreneurial business. But in reality, we don't make any money until we close transactions. So in my definition, and tell me if you agree with me here, Aurora, I think we're really at the top level of entrepreneurship because we're not W-2'd, we're not salaried, nobody pays us. We don't make anything until we close transactions. What do you say to that, Aurora?
I agree exactly. We not only are, we're not paid W-2s, but we kind of have these little micro businesses within a brokerage. Each of the agents operates their own micro business, and some of us have larger ones, some of us have smaller ones, but we're pretty much all in business for ourselves, as you mentioned. Absolutely.
And that's why it's really important as in the real estate, industry and in the finance industry to have an entrepreneurial mindset that is ready and geared for success. So I'd like to ask you, Aurora, what do you, in your definition or your opinion, what do you think an entrepreneurial mindset is?
I think one of the biggest things is you need to be in charge of your schedule daily. You need to own it. You need to stick to it. For example, I'm a realtor, and I know that in order for me to have business on a regular basis, I need to nurture my clients and lead generate daily. You need to educate yourself, be open to others who have done what you want to do or are doing, commit yourself to improving daily and weekly. Mm-hmm. Also having that mindset, you got to leave the excuses behind and block out the noise and negativity that you may hear from others around you, and incorporate those individuals that are positive and will support your business into your life.
Great points. Negativity is it's a big obstacle that a lot of us cannot seem to overcome because we're all drawn into the media and drawn into what's on the TV and what's on the news and what's happening all around us. And we kind of lose focus of what we're supposed to be doing in our business. And that's the thing. I consider it as it's a constant need of improving our skills. When you have the right mindset, you're focused and you're constant improvement of your skills, and you're continuously taking action on your ideas because, we both have great ideas to run our businesses and to do better for ourselves and our families. But it's the continuous actions on those ideas really kind of sets our mindset correctly. So definitely agree with you on that. And I also want to add about challenges. And an entrepreneurial mindset that is very strong, they overcome challenges. They don't look at challenges as problems. They look at them as just challenges. Where, okay, we've got a challenge here. How do we overcome this challenge? What do we need to do? Who do we need to put in the right place to be able to help us? Or what are the resources that we need to help us overcome these challenges? So
I definitely agree.
awesome. So now, the follow-up question to all this about the mindset and entrepreneurship is, what are some of the characteristics of entrepreneurs? Can you name a few that you may think that are great characteristics? I mean, especially with what you deal with on a daily basis.
Well, a few characteristics of entrepreneurs is definitely they're accountable. Entrepreneurs are accountable to themselves and revisit at the end of the week what they have accomplished and how to improve on what they have not accomplished. Resilience, they have the capacity to recover quickly and learn from mistakes, rejection, and experiences and move on. Humility, also a very important characteristic of an entrepreneur. Things are constantly changing in the business world, and it's okay that you don't know everything and that you're willing to ask for help to those who have more experience and gain the knowledge.
Absolutely. You named a few great ones, and I totally agree, especially with the accountability where, you do need to be accountable for what you do, because at the end of the day, like I mentioned earlier, you're not making a paycheck. You're not earning a paycheck. You're earning a career in your business. And there's nobody there to tell you, hey, you've got to work today from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nobody's there to tell you that, right? So you've got that freedom as an entrepreneur, but at the same time, you have to hold yourself accountable to the hours that you're putting into your work and to be able to be obedient and disciplined enough to do those things during work hours that you need to do, and then kind of schedule your day and pre-plan. And I always say, as a great characteristic is, I kind of mentioned it in an earlier question, is that you have the ability to look at a problem, and then you digest the situation and say, no, you know what, this isn't a problem, this is a challenge. This is something that, we're going to need to do A, B, C, and D during this time of, A time, B time, and C time. So you have to correct it, and you have to create solutions to that challenge instead of creating a sense of, oh my God, this is a problem that I cannot get out of. What am I going to do? And it's doomsday. Well, entrepreneurs that are strong, that are succeeding in their business, don't look at it that way. So, but you mentioned some great points. Resilience, I definitely agree with. Humility. Humility, I think, is a very important thing, because I believe that when you have humility in your business, that means you are accepting the fact that you don't know it all, and you really need to get people. I've heard a term which is pretty awesome, and I kind of always remember this. They say, if you are the smartest one in your room of employees, then you don't have the right employees, because you need to get people that are smarter than you. And humility is a part of that. It's a part of accepting that, you know what, there is somebody smarter than me in certain things, and I need to hire that person that is smarter than me, that can take care of that thing, and then I don't have to deal with it. I can do what I do best in regards to whatever it is that is my power source. Do you have anything to add on that, Aurora?
No, I completely agree that in order for you to grow, you have to grow from others, and you need to have your team or your fellow coworkers that you can go to and just basically bounce off ideas to see if you're in the right direction when it comes to dealing with a situation or a client.
Absolutely. And we're always faced with that in the real estate industry. And correct me if I'm wrong, but with the way the real estate industry is using technology nowadays, a lot of us in the real estate industry may not be very comfortable in using technology. And we're kind of seeing that with this whole pandemic that we're going through right now, and we're still completely not out of it. but we're seeing the use of technology now at a different level. And a lot of us, it could take a lot of realtors out of business if they don't want to accept the fact that there are going to be changes. And some of these changes you may not be comfortable with. And some of the technology that is going to be used, you may not have known about, or you may not be comfortable using. And that's the part where, you know what? That's the part where we have to come in and learn. We have to educate ourselves and not be afraid of that technology. And if you need help with technology, you find somebody that can help you. I mean, Aurora, you tell me. I mean, I know a lot of teenagers that know technology much more than we do, especially, social media.
Definitely. I have a goddaughter that I'll be calling her up and asking her stuff. How do you do this on Facebook? And she'll be like, yeah, you do it this way. And I'm like, oh my God, if me at age 14, I didn't know what she knows now. I mean, the kids nowadays are just so advanced with technology, and they've embraced it. Very different than when I grew up.
Absolutely. And those are the ones, and we all have them in our families. Sometimes it just takes you to go to them and say, you know what, I need help with this. Can you help me on how I can utilize Facebook Live video, or how I can utilize Zoom meetings, or these kind of live webinar meetings that we're doing right now, with this platform that I use for my company. So all of these things are really similar to one another. It's not about who or which resource we use. As long as you know the general way of doing live video, you'll be able to navigate through different platforms that have these type of technology available to you. So it's just a matter of kind of getting your feet wet and kind of just going in there and not being afraid to learn something new. So, yeah, let's move on to, another question. And this is another, question that is really important. And some of these are, what are some of the tips that we can give, both you and I, on growing an entrepreneurial mindset?
I think one of the biggest things is revisiting your vision on a daily basis or weekly basis. We all want to make money in business. We all want to service our clients, but we have to have a big why we're doing this. My big why, what gets me up in the morning every day, is that I want to eventually, in a few years, retire from real estate and open a home for women and children, a transitional housing. So that's my big why.
Wow.
The days that I don't want to get up, or the days that I don't want to lead generate, I think of those women and children that need my help.
That's a big why there, for sure. Yeah.
Another thing that I think is really important with growing your entrepreneur mindset is being in constant motion. And when I say that, is being of value to others. If you see a question on Facebook or LinkedIn about referral for a business or a contractor or a vendor or a resource, be there and help, and don't expect anything back, and just be a resource to others.
Absolutely. Providing value is a very, very key characteristic of having the correct entrepreneurial mindset. I definitely agree with all those that you mentioned. One thing that's actually, that really I can relate to is your why. Definitely. That is an important thing to identify early on in your entrepreneurial career is, okay, why are you doing this? And the reason why I say it's very important, because entrepreneurship is not easy. You're going to have struggles. You're going to have situations. You're going to have challenges. You're going to have things that don't go smoothly, things that don't go your way. So those are the things that you're going to have to be leaning towards your why. Okay. Things are not going to always be smooth. When they're smooth, you're probably not thinking about your why. You're thinking, okay, I'm going to keep going this because I've got something going here and I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. It's those difficult times that will remind us to keep going based on our why. And that's why when you brought that up as your first thing, I totally agree. That's like one of the first things that we have to identify is our why. Why do we do this? Because that's what's going to take you from, to keep you going through the hurdles and the obstacles that come your way as entrepreneurs. But I'll tell you one thing, entrepreneurship is the best thing that it's ever happened to me in my business world. I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't want it any other way. And it's just because I've, learned to work with it and kind of just keep on going. And what's helped me, additionally, as far as a characteristic, is educating myself, whether it's reading, whether it's video or audio, whichever type of way that you are more apt to learning better. It's something that you need to do on a continuous basis. You need to read books that are going to be more thought-provoking, that are going to be more business-minded, that are going to be more talking about mental health, all of that stuff. And then if you're watching TV or video, watch stuff that is going to be productive, not the negative crap that's on TV, but something that's going to make you learn for something. Okay. So those are the things that definitely I do in regards to that. And you mentioned providing value. Absolutely. Being a resource, especially as a realtor. I mean, how many times have you had a lot of your own clients, Aurora, tell you, hey, can you help me with finding a good, electrician?
Definitely. I think one of the things that people don't realize is that we have a lot of vendors that we work with on a daily basis, from electricians, plumbers, foundation experts, painters. We're like a resource, kind of like our own little home advisors.
Yeah.
People can come to us and ask us for a resource, and we're more than willing to help.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes, we even have a shoulder to cry on. Some people, I mean, they're really in need of, just mental health, whether it's something that they're dealing with their house, with their housing situation, with their family situation, that, it's very sensitive, where, there's changes of statuses that happen in people's lives, whether it's personal or business. And they have to come to you, Aurora, as a professional real estate agent, and you have to kind of put a comedy in their situation, calm down the situation, let them know that you're there to help them. I mean, that's another big thing that we do as, in our profession.
I definitely agree. And it's just, you have to be positive. You have to listen. Sometimes us as realtors, when we do have clients, who are coming from a difficult situation, whether it's a divorce or a death in the family, we just have to zip it and just listen, because that's all they need is someone to listen to.
Yeah. And we go through those situations. I mean, those are part of life that we go in. And imagine we're on the other side of it, where we're helping somebody get past that situation and kind of create a closing of their own, whether it's through a sale of a house or whether it's moving on. Like you mentioned, two big changes of lifestyle, which is death and divorce. I mean, those things happen, especially death. Everybody, I mean, we're all not going to be here permanently. So we're all going to be experiencing it at one time or another, and we are going to have family members that are going to experience it. So it becomes a sensitive situation, and we in our industry are here to help, and we're here to make that transition smooth for you as much as possible. So having that correct mindset as an entrepreneur will definitely help you. So
definitely agree.
Yeah, so I think we've touched on an awesome topic. It's like I said, it's very dear to me, and I know it's dear to you, Aurora, because I think being in the real estate industry, we all have to think like this. We all have to think like entrepreneurs, because, like I said, we don't make any money until we close transactions, and that's the part of our business. That's what we do. So, do you have any final words that you'd like to end off with, or even add ways for people to contact you that need help with getting real estate, or whether it's buying or selling?
Yes, the best way is to text me or call me at 510-734-0999, or simply if you have a question about how to become an entrepreneur or get into the real estate business, feel free to give me a call, and I'm more than happy to help.
Absolutely. And of course, same thing with me on the loan side. If anybody is out there that needs help in a situation where they are going through a family situation or a status or a lifestyle change, or upgrading or downgrading, and they need to get approval for a loan, feel free to reach out to me. I'm like I said, a broker for loan experts, and my direct contact line is 949-345-1319. Call or text me on that number, and you'll see the numbers on your screen as well, so that way they're there in front of you if you need to jot them down. So as you can see, this was an excellent segment from Aurora and I really hope it's been highly informative for everyone watching, everybody that's thinking of maybe becoming an entrepreneur, that maybe, gets enlightened with these things that we mentioned. We always, on the Real Loan Expert Show, we always like to bring and strive to bring guests that are professionally acceptable in our industry, in the real estate and lending industry. And Aurora, I just want to say I really appreciate your time for being on as my guest on the Real Loan Experts Show. And for everyone else, I thank you for tuning in. Until next time, from myself, Ray Warda, and my exceptional realtor from Bay Area in Northern California, Aurora, we say stay safe, stay healthy, and be extraordinary in anything that you do. Take care, my friends.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Aurora.